From the capital city, Sacramento, California, you're listening to one of the newest sports media sensations, the Sports Super Genius Podcast. Want to hear your opinions on air or on his blog? Email George at thesportsupergenius.com. Now from the private studio of thesportsupergenius.com, here is the Sports Super Genius.
Super Genius. Well, I'm back. This here's George. I'm the self-proclaimed sports super genius. If you've not heard me before, I'm just going to say you're going to love me. If you heard me before, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've been on, but you know what? I am back. I'm back on YouTube. I'm back on my podcast. I'm back on everything. A lot of stuff talking about in the world of sports since the last time I checked off with Alabama winning the national title in my top 25, which I was dead on for most of the year, which all the other people weren't. Anyway, going on, it's basketball time. Basketball free agency is huge right now. It is big. This is probably one of the bigger classes of all time. Amir Stoudemire going to New York. He went over there. It's Carlos Boozer going to the Bulls. Bosh and Wade heading down. They're going to be staying in Miami. And you know what? The reason why they're announcing what teams they're going to is because the King is looking for a guy. The King is looking for a team to play to win himself several championship rings. With Bosh and Wade down in Miami, that is going to be one interesting tandem. Wade's got to be healthy, but still they need the missing piece of the puzzle, which is LeBron James. And then of course, Boozer going to Chicago. Chicago's got a pretty good team as it is, and they just got a lot better by signing Boozer. Now, as far as James goes, where's he going? He's got a press conference tomorrow where he's going to announce it. I think he's going to stay put in Cleveland. He's going to make the most money. I wish they would have went after a Chris Bosh, but then again, I can't tell players what to do or teams what to do. I think there could have been some room in there if they renegotiated a couple of the Cleveland contracts, like I told in my podcast. But you know what? They didn't do it. So right now, I don't know what Cleveland's up to, but they're doing it right. By getting Byron Scott as their coach, that's all where it starts right there is the coach, and I think that could be a big key because they had a team that went to the finals without Shaq. They had a team with Shaq that didn't make it to the finals. So anyway, that's kind of how the old basketball thing is. Everyone's waiting on pins and needles. Where's LeBron going to go? My name's George. I'm the self-proclaimed sports super genius. I do have a full podcast. This here is just my YouTube sports update. I will be coming on a little bit later on. There's some other stuff I want to talk about before I check off it today. And that's going to come up right after this break. Again, but if you have something you want to say, send it to me at george@thesportsupergenius.com. And I'll put it on my website. I'll put it on YouTube. I'll put it on wherever it needs to be to get your voice out there. And if it's really selected, if it's really one of the better ones that I've gotten, you'll get $5. I paid out many people so far for their views. Why not give it to you? Anyway, this here's George. I'm the self-proclaimed sports super genius. I can come back with my final wrap.
The Sports Super Genius.
Sports News.
So far, some of the biggest stories happening in the world of sports outside of basketball has got to be the Texas Longhorns staying in the Big 12. Everyone knows that. But you know what Texas did? They also announced they're running a pro-style offense to compensate for their quarterback of the future. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? I can't tell. I don't make the decisions, but I do know the Texas modified spread offense seemed to work very well. Other schools are going to that, and Texas is shying away, going to a more pro-style set. So I don't know if something's happening. Maybe it's because of the new Big 12 situation. It's hard to say. And in baseball, Tim Lincecum today pitched one whale of a game, but then why did he do it? Because the Giants did score 11 runs. You cannot take that away from what's been happening with Lincecum. Lincecum should have about 4 more wins. Lincecum is not as bad as what people say. He of course, he had a couple bad outings. Every pitcher has a bad outing every now and then. But sometimes when people put people under microscopes, they say, okay, he's lost his control after what, 3 bad starts. You can't say that, especially for a pitcher like him who's been pitching his whole life. He knows what he needs to do. And today, when the Giants supported him, he was there for them. So don't be knocking on Lincecum quite yet. In other news, the Red Sox, of course, they got swept by Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay Rays just took it to them down there in the Dome, and that kind of hurt the Red Sox right now because they were on a roll. So heading into the All-Star break, it would have been nice if they took at least one game down there, but, they got beat on all of them. They were competitive in every game, so I guess you can't ask for anything more than that. Euclid is going to start coming up in the last series before the break, so that's a big thing for the Red Sox fans. And then, some of the things that's happened in the basketball deal, like I said, Carlos Boozer getting $50 million to play up in Chicago. That is something there, I think, definitely. But Boozer isn't a good fit, like I said earlier. LeBron James, who knows where he's going to go. The Four Little Network is predicting that LeBron is going to go to Miami. I personally think he's still going to stay in Cleveland. I don't think you can take anything like that away from a guy like LeBron James. Again, my name's George. I'm the self-proclaimed sports super genius. Thank you for tuning in here on YouTube. And you know what? Send me your rants and raves. Send me anything you want to send me. Let me know what you all think. Let me know what you think. Let me know what happened with LeBron, and what he's going to do. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. But then again, it's everything's a coin flip. No one actually really knows. LeBron's the only one who's going to know. I think he's made his decision. I think he's keeping it to himself. I don't even think he told his posse that hangs around him. Anyway, again, my name's George. I'm the self-proclaimed sports super genius. Send me your rants, raves, views. Let me know what you think about LeBron and his press conference. Let me know everything. All right. And I'm going to sign off for now. I'm going to talk to you real soon. Be looking for another podcast. Visit my super site, www.thesportsupergenius.com. And thanks a lot for tuning in.
Do you have a view, or are you upset about your favorite sport or team? How'd you like to get paid?
Well, just send it to George at thesportsupergenius.com. If selected as the best, you will get $5 just like that.
The Sports Super Genius.